and I was fascinated by the world of innovation. In particular, there were TV commercials in the 90s playing in the US that discussed filing for patents and the value of a new idea and how those new ideas really evolve our experience as a society. And so I decided at the age of 12, I was definitely going to be a patent lawyer. The problem is I didn't know any lawyers in my family, and I didn't really have much mentorship or guidance on how to get to law school. So thankfully, at that same time, AOL and dial-up internet really became available in the United States, and I was able to conduct research. And so my first piece of advice is the value of good research. There's no replacement for getting good information and really vetting your information sources and feeling like you have enough information to take that next right step. So I eventually found my way to law school, and it was really through a sequence of getting the right education, but also finding the right mentors and opportunities. My second piece of advice is work for free to get experience. Don't be afraid to take internships or volunteer opportunities where you exchange your effort for exposure and experience. Because that first internship I got, where I worked for free at a patent office, was probably the most important first career step I took on the path to entrepreneurship. So after I got that 1 year of internship experience, I was then qualified to apply for paid positions within law firms. And it was that paid experience that then made me understand how to conduct myself in an environment with a degree of professionality. And I think that, you know, really foundationally for entrepreneurs, you need to understand your market, your industry, your clients, and your coworkers. So, so that piece then, you know, sets you up for getting whatever qualification you need, and then a community. And so these are really the building blocks then for thinking about change. So with the greater exposure in your industry, you start to see areas where you can make improvements. Entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs, it really comes from this desire to make things better. And it was my experience working in the patent industry that I saw that there was a lack of efficiency in managing intellectual property assets, also trading those assets. And it's something that is important to every innovator, every university patent office, every law office, and every entrepreneur is how do I manage my creative intellectual property? And so Clear Access IP was born from this desire to make it cheaper, make it faster, and make it move more quickly between institutions. And so I created Clear Access IP on this ideal of a world where ideas moved more seamlessly from the creator into industry. So, you know, I think in terms of, you know, the value of understanding all of the pieces to the journey, and even today where I sit, I think about, you know, mistakes that I made along the way, but also it's really correcting for those mistakes that I think tells the most important story in the end. And if I could give one piece of advice on how to manage picking up after those mistakes is recognize that there's value in every mistake. Some of the greatest lessons really came from the failures at Clear Access IP related to mostly engineering challenges because we created an AI that studied every invention ever created. And when you're really at the cutting edge of any field, you have to expect that you're not going to get it right the first time or the second time, or even in our case, we created 120 different models for our machine learning, our machine learning product. And, there's going to be times where it feels like you're never going to get there, but you always have to look at each incremental improvement within the context of what you can provide to your market. So I think that's, be prepared for making mistakes, keep a close eye on how much those mistakes cost, and then always iterate for making less expensive mistakes in the future.
Mm-hmm. Well, those are really some really good advice. Kimball, I'm going to head to you next.